In this video, we will be creating UI for our server-side application. We will create required pages and apply styling to it. Let's get started. At first, let's start the server by running this command. We can see that the development server has been started on this address. If we enter the address into the browser, we should see this page. It means that everything is working correctly. Now let's open the code editor. Within views.py file, we will create a new view. Let's delete what is inside. We need to import HTTP response library and define login page function. Within it, we'll return hello world. Then we need to create a new file called urls.py within detection app. Within this file, we will define our custom URL paths. Import required libraries, then define URL patterns list with one path item. Here we are referencing views.py login page function. When we will go to the path, hello world will be printed. To make our custom URLs work, we need to include them within our project's main urls.py file. Here we are including detection apps urls.py file that we have recently created. For Django application to recognize detection app, we need to define it within installed apps list. Now let's save all files that we have edited by pressing Ctrl S. Let's refresh the browser's page. Here you can see that the page was not found. It is a good thing, as we have created our custom page with login URL path. Once we go to it, we can see the hello world text that we have defined for this path. Before we continue, we need to download static files and HTML templates from Git. In this tutorial, we will not create these files from scratch, as it would take too much time and it is not our main focus. Once you will get familiar with them, you will be able to create your own. I will leave a link to the Git repository down below in the comments. Download the code and place it on the desktop. Two new folders from the Git repository should be on your desktop, static and templates. Then open the server-side folder and move the static folder to it. After that, move templates folder to detection folder. Once done, open the code editor again. Now we can see those folders within our folder structure. Within the templates folder, we have our HTML files. We will use these files to display the frontend within our web application. This particular file will be for the login page. Within the static folder, we have CSS and fonts. They will be used within the frontend. Now let's change our detection app views.py file. We need to import from Django shortcuts, render and redirect libraries. Also, we will not need previous hello world response. Instead, we'll render login page. Here we are referencing our detection apps login.html file. You should see it within templates folder. Once we will go to the login path, this file will be rendered. Save the file and let's see if it works. We can see that the login page has changed. Input fields have appeared, but it does not have any styling. To apply imported CSS files, we need to edit settings.py file. After the static URL, we need to add a new constant static root and static files dirs. Here we are defining our static files directory so that Django could recognize content within it. Make sure to save the changes. Now let's try to refresh the login page. It seems that something went wrong. Let's check the console. Here we can see that we forgot to define OS within settings.py file. Go to the file's top and add import OS and save the change. From the console we can see that the development server has stopped running. Start the server once again. Go back and refresh the login page. Now we can see that CSS has been applied and everything is displayed as it should be. If you are wondering why input fields have text within it, it is because of the browser's autofill. Here is the HTML file that is being displayed within the login page. Now we can come back to the views.py file and add other pages. Here we are adding a register page and we will render register.html on request. Here is the file that will be rendered. Now let's add path for this page. Make sure that you're adding it to detections urls.py file. Here I have added register path. Let's not forget the trailing slash at the end. Save the changes. Let's open our newly defined page. The page opens and new HTML file is displayed. Now let's add website's home path. Here we will display dashboard.html file. Let's add a path as we did before. We will leave the URL part empty as we want it to be the home page. Save both files and let's check if it is working. Everything is working as it should. Once we have these three main pages defined, we need to add password reset pages. To do it, at first we need to import a new library. Then we need to define reset password path. Since we will allow Django to handle it, we are defining this path a bit differently. We are using Django's auth views. Here we are telling Django to display password reset HTML when we will be resetting password. Now we need to add reset password sent path in the same way as we did before. This HTML will be displayed when the password reset is sent. Now let's add a path that will be responsible for resetting the password. Here we are adding it a bit differently. The path will be automatically generated for the user. The user will get the link with password reset email. And finally, we need to add path for password reset completion. Save changes and let's check the reset password path. It works, As mentioned, Django handles password reset and we do not need to add views for it. It is the same for other password reset paths. As you probably noticed, buttons and links do not link to anywhere when we press on them. To fix it, we need to link pages to each other. Let's go to login HTML file and find href tag. Within it, we need to add URL reference to another page. We can do it by adding these tags within quotes and providing the path's name. In this case, we want to reference reset password path. Here we can see what name we have given for this path. Save the change and let's see if it works. Here, when we press password link, we are redirected to reset password URL path. Now let's add reference for the sign up link. We are doing it the same way, only changing the URL name. Here we want register page. The name for this path is register. Save the change, refresh the page and let's check if it is working. We can see that it is working as it should. For the sign in button, we will do a bit differently. We will skip it for now. Now we need to link links in the register page. Find the link with href tag. Here we will link the login page. Save the change. Refresh the page and let's see if it works. Let's do the same linking for the password reset page. We can copy the same text. Save the file and let's check. There is one more missing link left. It is within password reset done HTML file. Here we can paste the same text as we were doing before. Save the file. In this video, we have created UI for our server-side application. In the next video, we will work on login and logout flow. See you in the next video.